You want me to put that on my Tudor?
This one's wife. Weirdo Meghan. I'm a model. Hello. I'm H.G. Tudor. She's a model and she's looking good. I'd like to take her home. That's understood. She plays hard to get. She smiles from time to time. It only takes a camera to change her mind. You may recognize those lyrics from Kraftwerk's song, The Model, from 1978. Early pioneers of the synth sound. Certainly, this one's wife thinks she's a model. Why? Well, it again is the delusion of her narcissism. She has a preoccupation with being seen as the best speaker, the best businesswoman, the best wife, the best mother, the best friend, and, of course, the best fashion icon. Her track record is appalling. Kermit Goes to Church, Overripe Burst Tomato Woman, Tent by Army Surplus, Teacup by Royal Doulton, Hyacinth Bouquet, recently actress Patricia Routledge passed away, of course, that Hyacinth Bouquet's settee cover. One of our Jowers is missing, Fridge by Valentino. The list is considerable with regard to her fashion mistakes, and yet she persists in believing that she is a fashion icon. She is a somatic narcissist, which means that appearance is fundamentally important to her, and you would think, therefore, that she would ensure that her appearance is really good. But as I've told you many times, and I'll reinforce once again, she doesn't look in the mirror and thinks, I look like a dog's dinner, I look like I've been dragged through a hedge backwards, I'll still go out anyway. No! She thinks that she looks ravishingly beautiful, heart attack beautiful, even though she doesn't, because the narcissism distorts what she sees. She has a distorted image of herself based upon her repeated preoccupations of brilliance and desirability. She also, of course, doesn't know how to act in many situations as a consequence of her absence of emotional empathy, the fact that she's not very bright, and her misfiring cognitive empathy. Given her overexposure, these many glitches come to light, and we see here a rather hilarious example of what a weirdo she is, but again explained by her narcissism with regard to character trait acquisition. As you are aware, this one's wife turned up at the Balenciaga show at Paris Fashion Week, naturally craving attention, which provides her with fuel, and wanting to be associated with the great and the good of the fashion world because she believes, mistakenly of course, that she fits in there. Ordinarily, when we see this one's wife roaming around in the wild, we're treated to her eye-fucking the camera and rictus grin plastered on her face as she waves at people and seeks to assert control over them by touching them, prodding them, hugging them, etc. But we've seen a bit of a departure in relation to her attendance at Paris Fashion Show. First of all, have a look at this as she exits the hotel.
Meghan, one look, Meghan, here, Meghan, your shoulder, Meghan.
Now, ordinarily, when this one's wife exits somewhere, she's grinning and waving, possibly pausing to have her photograph taken, but not here. Her pimp, Marcus Anderson, leads the way, and then out she comes, accompanied by a tall bodyguard, to ensure, of course, that she looks important. After all, look at those crowds rushing to try and touch her. Oh, they're not. There is the very slightest appearance of a smile, but it's not much. It's a complete contrast with how she ordinarily conducts herself as she strolls to the vehicle, turning one way and then looking the other, as she believes that she is a model. She neither has the looks, the height, or the figure for it, but that's not going to stop her believing that she is one. And thus, because the event that she's attending is all about fashion and models, she believes that she should appear like that. Yes, that's really how basic she is. That her narcissism goes, well, this is how a model conducts themselves, you do the same. And thus she does, because she doesn't really know how to act. And she engages in character trait acquisition, which you see there. But that's not just the end of it. Have a look at this. Yes, there she goes again. No smile, making her way to wherever she's going, behaving as if she thinks she is a model too. Character trait acquisition in full effect. And here she is again, this time actually walking along the runway as she goes to her seat, walking as if she is actually walking down the runway as part of the show, flanked by various bodyguards making a scene as she makes her entrance, and Marcus Anderson ambling along also. Notice there's no turning to smile at anybody, eyes fixed ahead. In her brain, she's modelling. She really is such a simpleton. And it demonstrates, in effect, that many people would look at her and think, what a weirdo. Usually she's stopping and clawing at people and waving at people. Rictus grin presented. That she's there trying to draw the attention. But no, all of a sudden we get this icy, almost glacial behaviour. And it's not actually because she's being standoffish and aloof, which is part of her makeup as a narcissist, but what you're actually witnessing is the fact that as a narcissist that doesn't know how she should be acting in these circumstances, her narcissism has simply decided, you're beautiful, you are wearing expensive clothing, you are the star of the show, so behave like a model. Be a model. And thus she does. Yes, what a weirdo. But once again, you're able to understand why she comes across as such a bizarre oddity. It's her narcissism guiding her, and it isn't as effective as it ought to be at getting her to fit in such high-profile situations as the one that she's being photographed at and filmed at. Once again, courtesy of your glorious narrator, you are able to understand precisely what's going on. The major benefit that you gain, along with being mightily entertained, from being an ardent viewer of this channel and giving you a significant advantage over all the rest. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for watching.